Eerie, suspenseful music. Flashes of a quiet suburban town at night. Every town has its secrets, and some nights change everything. Welcome to Whisperer, where we explore the dark, strange, and unexplained. Tonight, the story of Tiffany Valenta, young girl whose disappearance shook a small New Jersey town, and the mystery that followed. On a summer evening in Mays Landing, New Jersey, Tiffany's family gathered for her high school graduation party. Friends, laughter, and celebration filled the air. But when 18-year-old Tiffany stepped away from the backyard, she never came back. Hours later, she'd be found miles away, her life cut short under circumstances that made no sense, and an investigation full of questions, but few answers. Tiffany was the youngest of 3 girls, growing up in a close-knit family. At 6'2", she was a standout on the volleyball court, earning a scholarship to Mercia College. Friends described her as compassionate, always ready to listen and help someone in need. She had dreams: criminal justice, maybe joining the military, or helping people in some way. She loved life and looked forward to the future. But like many teens, she faced challenges, arguments with her mom, minor issues with money, and navigating high school as an openly gay teen in a town that wasn't always welcoming. On July 12, 2015, Tiffany's family celebrated at her uncle's house across the street. Around 1 p.m., a friend arrived with troubling news. A missing debit card had suspicious charges. Tiffany denied it but was later caught trying to hide the card. Minutes after the confrontation, Tiffany vanished from the yard. A nearby deer camera captured her walking down the driveway at 9:28 p.m. By 9:29 p.m., she was gone. Calls to her phone went unanswered, and frantic searches began through streets, woods, and neighbors' properties. At 11 p.m., Tiffany's father discovered her phone tossed in the weeds. Something she'd never leave behind. 4 miles away, along the New Jersey Transit tracks, a train struck Tiffany. The impact was devastating. She was found wearing only a sports bra and underwear. Her shoes, headband, and other items were discovered neatly placed a mile from the house, as if staged. Remarkably, her feet showed no signs of walking barefoot over rocks and gravel. How could this have happened? The investigation was plagued with mistakes. The scene wasn't treated as a crime scene. Evidence was lost or contaminated, and Tiffany never received a full autopsy or assault exam. Trained engineers gave conflicting statements, and the black box showed the train's bell was never rung. Key evidence, like a suspicious axe, vanished. Experts suggested Tiffany could have been dead before the train hit her, something never considered in the initial investigation. Tiffany's family refused to accept the official story. They fought for a review of the case. Independent experts highlighted serious investigative failures. Years later, they uncovered messages on Tiffany's phone, revealing months of harassment and threats, possibly a hate crime connected to her being gay. The theory: Tiffany may have been confronted, attacked, and placed on the tracks in an attempt to make it look like an accident. The truth, her family believes, was hidden. Even today, the case remains unresolved. The Valientes demand full transparency, every piece of evidence, every recording, every detail from that night. Experts in the family continue to question the timeline, the physical evidence, and Tiffany's behavior. Nothing about that night adds up to the location of her shoes, her lack of injuries on rough terrain, her fear of the dark. Every fact points to a story far more sinister than a tragic accident. Tiffany's story is a reminder. Darkness can hide in even the smallest towns, and mysteries can linger for years. Her family still searches for answers, and until they get them, her story is far from over. If you were chilled by Tiffany's story, subscribe to Whisperer for more real-life tales of the strange, the unexplained, and the terrifying, because sometimes your own town isn't as safe as it seems.